Hi guys, okay, welcome to another lecture in the series of lectures on critical approaches to literature. For a quick recap, we were discussing the Platonic dilemma, the major critical questions, and how are you to use those questions to help you build criticism or be able to critically approach a piece of work in a Platonic manner or way. Um, Also, remember that when you're doing so, uh, there are five categories, if you would want to call them, that we discussed, or roles um, that will that will um, that your criticism or your approach towards a piece of work will fall under, right? Ontological, functional, which I have already explained in one of the lectures, normative, descriptive, psychological or appreciative, which also I have covered. Each of these activities has its place and its usefulness, and the many questions involved can be and have been asked in different ways. Also, that um, sometimes they over, uh, sometimes they intercede each other, overloop. I was about to say. Sometimes they connect with each other, right? Uh, for example, uh, how we discussed that impeccably written by Daily Mail for the namesake is functional criticism, but also appreciative criticism. Um, Today we're going to be discussing descriptive criticism. Uh, Now, and the role of a critique as a descriptive critique. Now, descriptive, generally the word means serving or seeking to describe. I'm really nervous, so excuse me for all the stammering and stuttering because I understand that this is a lot of information to process, and I want to break it down in the most uh, gulpable manner, an understandable, comprehensive manner. Uh, Descriptive means serving or seeking to describe, right? The word. Now, descriptive criticism itself is a non judgmental approach to analyzing a piece of work uh, by objectively detailing its elements, such as techniques, subject matter, structure, without assigning value or merit to it in your criticism. But otherwise, when you are, I'm not saying that because we've already discussed when we were talking about the major critical questions that we need to define the function uh, and at the same time suggest a value to a piece of work. So that's an internal thought process thing, but um, when you're translating your approach to being able to critically analyze a piece of work on paper, that's when uh, you cannot be judgmental in your approach, and you cannot assign value or merit to your piece of work. You need to focus on what is present in the work rather than what should be there, um, and do a factual, neutral assessment of the piece of work. Which is why I said that this criticism by the Daily Mail, which said impeccably written on the namesake, um, is still descriptive too. It's appreciative, yes, it's functional, yes, it's also descriptive. Because at the end of the day, saying something is impeccably written is sort of describing how it is, right? Without being judgmental. Yes, in certain ways, it is assigning value or merit because it's saying it's impeccably written, which is why it is not fully descriptive, but in certain ways it is describing, right? Um, The thing is that if, for example, here the word impeccably may have not been used, then it would have fit the descriptive criticism um category, or whatever you would want to call it, better. Now, one good example of it, um, one good example of descriptive criticism can be uh, Lahiri's prose reveals her as a mistress of the small moment with a debt to the Russian classics. This was Independent on Sunday, about the namesake. Lahiri's prose reveals her as a mistress of the small moment with a debt to to the Russian classics. This will this properly ticks all categories within descriptive criticism, um, because it clearly describes uh, and analyzes the namesake, which is, of course, a piece of work by Lahiri, which also sort of covers, or also sort of discusses Nikolai Gogol's Overcoat, and that story is kind of a central, um, what should I say? It's central to the overall story of the namesake. So that's why this kind of perfectly fits the whole descriptive criticism category. Similarly, Glasgow Herald said, "The Namesake is a quietly moving tale that explores the somewhat fashionable themes of racial and cultural identity in unshowy, elegant prose." The word elegant here kind of makes you feel like it's interconnected with appreciative form of criticism, but it is also descriptive criticism, right? In descriptive criticism, or when you're serving, or when you're seeking or serving to describe in a way that you're just able to analyze a piece of work by objectively detailing its elements, it is important that you remain factual and neutral. You do not that you do not go on to appreciate it too much. Of course, as a critique, you will probably say something good about it, but it is the use of words then, in translating something onto a piece of paper, that really makes a difference. And also probably in your thought process then, right? You need to not jump to these kind of conclusions. That, okay, here the description is impeccable. No. Excuse me. You cannot jump to conclusions like that. I'm trying to find another piece of criticism. Okay, there was a line from Sukhdev Sandhu wrote this in the Daily Telegraph, and the whole thing, of course, is not perhaps descriptive, but this particular phrase or line might help you understand what does descriptive criticism mean. I'm just giving another example, although I know we're running short on time, but this will kind of help you make better sense of what I'm saying. Things matter to her and to her characters. They're bulwarks against drift and confusion. That is descriptive criticism. Not saying if it's good or bad, but objectively focusing on what is present and giving a very factual, neutral assessment of the work. Now, as a person, being able to critically approach a piece of work this way can be technical. It can be um, it can seem daunting or difficult, right? Because we all operate in a way where we're like, okay, but I like this and I don't like this. To be able to get into the Platonic dilemma, you need to remember the normative questions versus the descriptive questions. And then when you're writing your answer, uh, you need to know what role are you playing. Do you want to be descriptive? Do you want to be appreciative? Do you want to be functional? Um, do you want to be uh, ontological? Do you want to be psychological? Do you want to be normative? Um, and when I say, do you want to be with like psychological, ontological, functional, normative, descriptive, appreciative, I'm saying this because the role that you are choosing as a critique is going to directly affect the criticism that you are producing. That's about it for this video. I hope that I'm able to explain this right. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. Press the bell icon to stay updated. And I will soon be dropping another video, so you can press the bell icon um, to get an alert or a notification whenever a new lecture drops. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. This is a really complicated concept to understand. I get that, and that's why I'm trying to make it easy. But I myself am really nervous right now. I will try to loosen up a bit in that sense. Once we're done with the categories, I feel like no, it doesn't get any better. but yeah, because the thing is that what we're focusing on right now is the knowledge part of it, and then what you have to eventually be doing, or what we're trying to learn here through these series of lectures, is something that's very practical, which is why I'm nervous that if there's any gap or loophole or anything like that, then obviously it's my fault. But that is why feel free to ask any questions in the comments below, and see you soon. Any questions with regards to the lecture, and don't forget to do the task, guys, please, because with the task I'm trying to help you guys only, so that's why. That's about it. Bye bye, see you soon.